Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11.
And welcome to another edition of Home Track Heroes here from Evergreen Speedway. Steve Mortland here, Tom Glithero over there. APC Auto Spa brought us a night, and the cool part about this one, it was just good old racing all night long. It was people that were used to seeing a lot of good races, good car counts, you know, at this point of the year, which is kind of important, but good to see it.
We've talked all year about, you know, the dog days of summer, and as the weather gets hotter, the competition picks up. We're there. After tonight, you know, a lot of these divisions only have one or two more races, so you got to accumulate those points. There's a couple real interesting points battles, maybe not so much tonight, but every position means something. That trophy's a little bit bigger, the bragging rights are better, and good action.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're going to start off our night with our BECU NASCAR mini stocks. We have our Speedway Chevrolet Pro late models to close out the show for a 50-lap main event, and we also have our NASCAR street stocks along with our Outlaw Figure 8 division tonight with a fairly decent car count. A couple of interesting twists in some races tonight. A couple of them have father-son duos going at it, one of them for the first time. So we got a lot to do. So let's get to it. Like I mentioned, we're going to be bringing you our BECU NASCAR mini stocks, and we thank them so much for being a part of what we do out here at Evergreen Speedway, along with everybody that spends all season long with us, and especially to our cleanup crews, medical, towing, all those people.
Well, you're right. We get through the fair, you know, it's coming up right now, you know, and then it won't be much longer, and we'll put a lid on 2021, and we'll get ready for 2022 in just a few more weeks.
All right. Would you be so kind as to let these fine people know who's racing?
You bet. Starting on the pole for the BECU mini stock race will be the number 25 car of Dylan Bewald. Dylan sponsored by Puget Sound Auto Repair in Port Orchard. Outside of Dylan in the 97, racer against child abuse car, Chad Sinner. In row 2, it's a 4-car, Cole Reardon in the Above and Beyond Design and Construction Special. And outside of him in the 521, the Luna Local 292, it's Mike Jensen.
Tom missed the obvious on the pole. The Smoky Point Concrete sponsored Mack Concrete truck that's on the pole for this one, but he'll grace off. But thanks to Smoky Point for being a part of our show tonight. Let's go back.
You won't pass him tonight.
No, you won't pass him. In the number 18 car on the inside, Lane Sunholm in his Foss Motorsports Ford. Outside of Lane in the 3rd row. In car number 14, normally we say it's Colton Price, but tonight it's Nat Barber in the Racers Against Child Abuse Volkswagen. In the 4th row on the inside, Cameron Iverson in his McConey setup shop car. Outside of Cameron in the 23, Ellie Musgrave and the Tracy and Annette Gregg along with Team Nelson Earthworks sponsored cars. Final row, Doug Hines in his Roller Associates car, Cassidy Sunholm in the 7, and we are underway. 30-lap feature for our BECU NASCAR mini stocks.
Right now, Dylan Bewald jumps out to a very, very short lead over Chad Sinner in the 97, followed by Cole Reardon in that 4-car. These guys that are up front right here, they've been there all year, pounding on it, doing a great job.
The car has, the 97 has, but the driver is absolutely brand new, and boy, I have much respect for Chad Sinner. We talk about him every time the Legends are on, in that green number 11C Legend, and he has got the opportunity. As Bewald just heads right up on the top of turn 4, manages to make it down back and keep it on all 4, and off he goes. There's a good shot of Dylan. Let's see if he goes off, and no, he's going to hang out there. 2 laps in, and we are back underway.
That was kind of a weird spot for that car just to turn right and head off the bank, so I'm not sure if he's got maybe a braking issue or something like that, but you know, hopefully he'll get that thing kind of figured out and he can work his way back up to the front. But you know, this division has had a nucleus of cars that have been really good. The driver's been really good. You know, we said that Nat Barber is in that 14 car, normally driven by Colton Price. Colton Price, the points leader with 524 points. In second, it's Mike Jensen and Cole Reardon in third. So Colton has a 54-point lead over Mike Jensen, 84-point lead over Cole Reardon.
Well, I tell you, though, the dominant car all season long, as that car was in the 2020 season with a different driver, Lane Sunholm in that number 18 car. That car is absolute. Well, Lane's talent obviously speaks for itself, as it has for many, many years out here. But boy, Lane in his style and that car just really make for an exciting package. As you can see him working the middle groove there. Mike Jensen still at the bottom of turn number 2 as they head down the backstretch into 3 of these guys racing on our 3/8 oval. Look at that move by Sunholm as he still is living in that outer groove, and swings are wide. Let's see if he can get around the 521 of Jensen as they head into 1.
You see that, and Sunholm is very comfortable in that race car. He just loves that second groove. He's working it hard. That is a hard thing to do for racers, but Sunholm's been at it long enough and everything else. Jensen in that 521, making his car as wide as possible, not doing anything wrong, but he's certainly not giving Sunholm a lot of space on that outside. So you can just see Jensen doing a great job. Sunholm in the 18 car moving in the second, trying that big thing on the outside, elbows up, sitting down in that seat, doing everything he can, trying to get by Mike Jensen.
I kind of had to wonder what it must have felt like for Nat Barber about a lap and a half or so ago as he's getting underneath the car he normally drives. You got to give him focus points for not freaking out on that one. That was pretty good. Nat Barber in a car that he knows very well. He's driven it a lot, but he's normally behind the wheel of the number 97. And here he goes. Look at that move on the outside by the 18, Lane Sunholm. Cole Reardon in second. Mike Jensen drops that left rear off the track, gets her straightened back around, but pretty even distance, about 3 car lengths in between Sunholm, Reardon, and Mike Jensen as they come out of turn 4.
Probably a little frustrating for Jensen. Here he is leading this race, and all of a sudden one by on the outside, one by on the inside. He's the proverbial meat in the sandwich, as the saying goes, and now finds himself back in third spot. Sunholm up front. You know, I'm going to guess the rest of this division after the last 2 years would love to pool their money, buy that car, and sink it out in the middle of Puget Sound someplace, because that thing has been nothing but bad fast.
There's a good shot of Dylan Bewald coming out of turn number 4. Had the preferred position on the pole at the start of this main event for our BECU NASCAR Mini Stocks, as we are 18 laps to go, 12 down, as Lane Sunholm's does the math right there. 17 now as he takes that thing out of turn 2 on the backstretch with Cole Reardon about now 6 car lengths to the back, and Mike Jensen hanging on to that third spot as they are winding down the laps. Lane Sunholm across the line one more time.
Well, Sunholm's job right now, while he's out front and makes it easy, the hard part for him is to keep the attention. He's got to make sure he's hitting his marks. If he uses a spotter, the spotter's going to be, okay, hit your marks, hit your marks. We don't need any more lead. Don't use your stuff up. So, you know, there's going to be a constant stream of conversation to Sunholm to keep him up in the seat, keep him sharp, and thinking about what he's doing out there.
There's Chad Sinner in the number 97, the first time out in a NASCAR Mini Stock, and this may be, and correct me if I'm wrong, his first time obviously in a full-bodied stock car, for lack of a better term, but front-wheel drive too. There's a whole lot of things that young man's got to learn, but boy, he has done such a great job in the Legends when they run out here, virtually every track that they run at, and it's good to see him taking on a new challenge so far as we are just past the halfway point in our 30-lap main event. Chad Sinner still hanging in there, getting valuable seat time.
You know, the one thing we're starting to see in the last year or so is drivers moving from class to class. Not, you know, up or whatever, but, you know, that's what's going on. And right now we have a caution for Sinner, who tried his best to spin that car out, but didn't do it, saved it.
And you can see our Speedway Chevrolet Camaro making their way out. We've got a couple of replays that are just going to pop up on your screen here any second. Thanks to Brandy Chavez for all the work that she does with Brandy Hood Promotions to bring you these in-car shots that I thought we were going to see, but we are going to work it back, get it back turned around. There it is.
They call that a tank slapper.
Yeah.
That fuel tank wants to slap the inside wall, wants to slap the outside wall as he works it down the racetrack.
All right, we'll bring it back upstairs for just a few seconds here as they kind of get everything straightened around for our BECU NASCAR Mini Stocks. Like I said, it's kind of cool that we've got a little bit of mix-up, drivers and different car numbers. Hopefully we don't mess it up too bad.
Well, and we've seen drivers move from street stocks into figure-8 cars, and we've seen a Pro Late Model driver in a figure-8 car in a Stinger 8, and back and forth with the Legends and the 4-cylinder mini stock. So it's really cool, and it's good experience for drivers and a lot of fun times for them as they get some experience.
The only thing we have not seen is Dawson Cox in a BECU NASCAR mini stock. We may. You never know. It could happen before the season's done. All right, there we go. Let's get them lined back up. It's Lane Sunholm down on the inside, Cole Reardon up on the outside. Mike Jensen still hanging in that third spot here as we are just a lap past the halfway point. And let's see, Cole Reardon, or excuse me, Nat Barber in that 14 car. It already got me messed up. I almost went with Colton, but thankfully caught myself, and that's your second row. Pace car pulls off. Lane Sunholm will be charged with getting him to the start-finish line.
And as they come off turn 4, you can see them. They'll start picking up the throttle. NASCAR officials very, very carefully watching that to make sure no one gets an advantage. But that was about as good a start as you do. Those cars were side by side as they crossed the start-finish line, and they'll come down to complete. Well, right now you can see Reardon taking a peek on the inside as Sunholm gave him just a little bit of exposure, room to get through there, and then he pulled it back down. Kind of cool to see Dylan Bewald, who started in the front row, went all the way to the back into the top 7 right now, working his way forward. So a good job to get that car back up front. Important because he currently sits 4th in points.
Yeah, that young man is always just giving it everything he has with whatever he's been tasked to drive with. There's a good shot of the 10 car and the 29 Dylan Bewald, like Tom just mentioned, working down on the inside outside of Cameron. Outside in the 10 is Cameron Iverson. There was a little bit of a shot of Ellie Musgrave in her AMC Pacer, which is pretty cool to see an AMC Pacer out there in our mini stock division. As these two, the 10, Iverson, and the 29, still battling as they head out of 1 and into 2.
Most all of these cars front-wheel drive, except the 18 car driven by Sunholm, a Ford Mustang, so it's a rear-wheel drive car, but just kind of a fun class. And there's a little bit of creativity that's allowed in this class and design and some of the things that they're able to do. And over the years, the NASCAR mini stock class has put a lot of drivers into pro and super late models.
Yes, they have. Here they go now out of turn 4. Now we've got 10 laps to go. There's Lane Sunholm by about a 10-11 car length lead over Cole Reardon in his familiar number 4. Mike Jensen still doing a good job in that third spot in his car as they are equally spaced coming out. Here comes the 14 of Nat Barber in that 4th spot, and boy, I tell you, he was just looking for any type of advantage he could get and get around that 520. And he would love to have made a podium in a car he hadn't been in all season long.
Well, and I'm sure Nat was thinking that he was going to drive that 14 car, gave up the seat for his car, because that 14 car has, especially early in the year, it was on rails. That thing was flying.
It was. That thing was impressive.
And I've just got to believe that right now Colton Price, who's at a wedding, is probably got one eye on his cell phone, and he's watching, my laps just to see how his race car is doing.
All right, 6 laps to go in our BECU NASCAR mini stock main event. 24 have been put in the books, and now we've got 6 to go. It will be 5 when he comes across as Lane Sunholm still just running on autopilot. He'll take it out at turn number 4 to get underneath the now a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of the 1 car there as he rides it high up into turn number 1, probably some tire rub or something like that. Lane Sunholm just getting now underneath Doug Hines, who's having an off night in his number 13 machine, but it's all Sunholm all day long out here in this mini stock main event.
Hines pushing the envelope green in 13. Green supposedly a bad color for racing, but as I was once told, you race for money, money's green.
That's right.
Green is okay, but it's good to see him out there. And Sunholm just, for 3 more laps, we'll put another one in the books for a great season. He's not in the top 5 in points because he missed races early in the year. So, obviously, if he'd have run those races, he probably would be up there contending for the championship.
All right, it's all a matter of time before Lane Sunholm brings that number 18 forward across the start-finish line, pick up another main event win in the BECU NASCAR mini stocks as you see him popping out at turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Just if he didn't have that net, I'm sure you'd probably see his left elbow hanging out the side of that car and just finding a radio station to listen to. But white flag out now. one more to go for Lane Sunholm.
Sunholm dives her down in there. The 7 car, that's his daughter.
That's right.
And so Dad is, probably looking over, smiling at his daughter as he's heading down into 3-4 for the final time. He'll come off there, take the checkered flag, and another win in the PECU mini stock class.
All right, we're going to bring our top 3 up to our Angel of the Winds winners platform here at Evergreen Speedway as the rest of the field wraps up their 30 laps. And here comes the 97. Good job, Chad Sinner, getting across the start-finish line. I'm sure he just had a blast.
All right, Lane, you got the win tonight. Obviously a pretty good day for you.
It was a good day. Car was good. Everything worked well. We just kind of sat around and did some setup, and it was kind of a dream day.
Who all need to thank for the work on this awesome 18 car?
JNR Truck Rental has been helping us out. Lang Auto, Foss Motorsports, J2, DeYoung Inc., Joe's Racing Products. I mean, I can go on all day.
All right, Cole, you got second place tonight behind that 18 car. What's it going to take to get by him for a podium finish?
For him to break. No, it's I love racing with those two guys, man. They're super clean. That's my first second place in a mini stock. I got a bunch of thirds and a bunch of firsts, and that's the first second I got, so I'm pretty stoked. Good racing.
Who do you need to thank for all the work on this 4 car?
Oh, Happy Cookies and Cakes, Above and Beyond Design and Construction, Native Coin, J2 Racing Parts, BECU, my crew, my girlfriend, Jenny, she's in the spotting tower. Great night.
All right, Mike. Well, third place tonight. I mean, a couple spots short, but it was some great racing out there, and you're able to hold off the 18 for quite a few laps out there.
Yeah, I mean, Lane's quick, and if I can run up front for a little bit, that's good. Cole got me for second, and just tried to hold Nat off for third place, and it's been a great night. Cars coming together, and really happy with everybody that helps me and everybody that comes out. We couldn't do this without everybody's help and their support.
Well, who specifically do you give a shout out to for the 521 car?
Lyuna, local 292 out of Everett. They're a huge help for me, and I'd love to keep them on board. I mean, JBR, John Bender Racing. I couldn't do it without these guys, and it means a lot to me that they have enough faith in me to do it for them.